Hello, hello, hello everybody. Chink, chink, chink. Here we are for another Mystery Monday Facebook Live in the Creative Smartphone Photography group. And I appear to be live. Let's see if I really am. Yes, I'm live in lockdown Paris. So here we are, for better or for worse. And I'm just seeing myself on the other screen. Don't know why I'm laughing, I kind of know what I look like. So let's get rid of that. Yeah, so welcome to the show. It's another Monday. It's another Mystery Monday. We're going to be looking at some of my latest stuff. We're going to be looking at lots of your photographs, especially the ones which were the theme of last week. And it was the averagely popular connection. This was more of an abstract theme based on the fact that quite a few of us are restricted in our movements. For example, I haven't got it with me, but to go out here in my little town near Paris, you have to, well, in all of France, you have to have a piece of paper where you say who you are, where and when you were born. I'm not quite sure what that's about, and where you're going and what time you left the house. So it's pretty serious stuff. And there was a story, I don't think I said it here last week, where there was a woman who was out and she had not only was she out, but I don't think she had her little paper, and she had an argument with the police. And they gave her 7 months in prison, but really in prison, not just a warning. So it's serious. Anyway, so here we are. And as usual, I've got lots and lots of stuff to show you and share with you, mainly your photographs. So let's have a look. I'm going to share my screen. Am I going to share my screen? I'm trying to. Yeah, there we go. And yeah, so I put the old banner up. So it's a new one, but it's the old one because for some reason I still had a banner with talking about the masterclass, which it's not finished. It's happening now, but it's over in terms of being able to join it. So we're back to the old one with the pigeons, my friends, the pigeons. I've got a lot of pigeon friends in Paris. They follow me around. And we'll also be looking at Showcase Sunday, which is an opportunity for you to put pictures that you like and you want to share on a Sunday with no theme whatsoever. We're going to be looking at Mystery Monday, of course. And for some reason, I've lost something I was going to show you. Yeah, here it is. It's Whatever Wednesday. So Whatever Wednesday. Oh, by the way, say hello if you are watching in the chat. If you're watching me on, well, you probably are watching me in the group, which means I will see your comments. I just need you to make sure that you have said who you are. You know the story. Most people know the story by now. So that I can see who you are, you need to go to _streamyard.com/Facebook and I can see your comments. And please give me comments. I want comments. I thrive on them. Without it, I'm sad and I cry. Dorothy. Hello, Dorothy. So happy to see you here. Nazanin. Hi, Nazanin. Sab. Alice is just telling me again and again some irrelevant information about, oh, actually, that she told me this earlier. It's Jen and Chrissy's birthday today. I almost broke into song there, but then I remembered what it sounds like when I sing, so I won't. But I will say happy birthday, Jen, and happy birthday, Chris, and maybe we'll see a couple of their photographs here, and hopefully they're not too bad, eh? And we can say nice things about them. So let's carry on. Dorothy says, hello, where are you? Which is a very interesting comment. In Paris? Not quite sure. Okay, so hello, Dorothy. All right, so let's move on. So Whatever Wednesday, I must admit, I'm sorry. I haven't been sort of putting a new theme up every day, but maybe, it's okay. So Whatever Wednesday is actually not your photographs. It could be any photographs. I mean, if you know who took the photograph, then give them a credit. That's, it's respectful. But Whatever Wednesday is really photographs that you've seen elsewhere that you really like. And I put it up quite late, but I got a couple of interesting ones. Look at this. Look at this photograph. It's from Nazanin. And it's really quite exceptional because she she's got I think she's got quite a habit of like putting a photograph with a shadow and a curve and a reflection and all sorts of things. And this one is no exception. And she's managed to, she put an explanation somewhere, but it's not here. Let me just see if her deeper explanation is there. No, but what she did was, she is there on the balcony. Can you see there? That's her on her balcony, or on a balcony, looking into a room. In the room is a mirror. So that's her reflection in the mirror. She's waving. Her waving is actually causing shadows on the wall, which is next to the mirror, from the light behind her. We've got a scene behind her, like some building outside. And for some reason, there are two windows or two bits of glass or something causing two shadows of the same arm. Plus, you've got her mother watching Friends on the TV. So it's really an amazing combination of stuff. Good for her. Well done, 𝗧𝗢𝗓𝗓. It's just imagination. When you start to get the eye, you almost can't stop getting the eye, and you get very irritating to people you're with. You start seeing photographic opportunities everywhere. Just saying. This was from Rob. Rob's, he's played around with this shot by the looks of it. He's got in really nice and close, which is interesting because I'm thinking of doing something like that for the theme for this coming week, seeing as a lot of us are stuck inside. And he says, thanks to the Girl Scouts, I stocked up on Girl Scout cookies. These are single serving boxes, right? Oh, absolutely, Rob, absolutely. In fact, that might just be one single serving there. I'm not sure. I'd probably have to do an in-depth study to check. But it kind of looks like one serving there. And this is Rob again, saying surreality. Are we in a Stephen King novel? Yeah, it's like one of those days where suddenly there's no one else on the roads. My morning commute is typically bumper to bumper, slowly moving along. Here I am crossing the Mississippi River. Wow, during this COVID commute. Strange times, people, strange times. So that was the few contributions to the whatever Wednesday, which actually ended up being your people's photographs. I've yet to see people really posting photographs they've found, which you can do on that day. Right, now let's have a look at Showcase Sunday. Do say hello, by the way. Hey, Jen. Okay, oh my God, I'm going to have to sing, aren't I? Yeah, 𝗧𝗢𝗓 said for her photograph that I just mentioned, there were no special effects at all. And if she had added special effects, that would have made it, less natural, but it would have brought out even more of those strange overlapping things. Yeah, so Jen says, hi, everyone. And Alice has been saying, Sab, it is Jen's and Chrissy's birthday today. Happy birthday to you, Jen. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Jen and Chris. Happy birthday to you. It's amazing, Jen. Do we have a picture of Jen somewhere? She's going to be cringing. Jen. Here we are. Is she going to kill me? Is she going to kill me? That's amazing. You don't look a day over 95. How do you keep your skin looking so young and fresh? It's fantastic. Beautiful picture. Beautiful picture. And Chris, Chris isn't here. So I won't put a picture of her up seeing she isn't here. But anyway, happy birthday to both of you. I hope you're happy. And where was I? Now Jen has taken over my screen. That's not a bad thing. Okay, so this was a Sunday showcase. We will be getting on to the Monday, Mystery Monday. There were lots of interesting shots there, and I'll give you the new theme for this coming week. Hopefully it'll be one you can do at home from the safety of your own home. All right, so this was me contributing a photograph. I'm just kind of pleased with it. It was actually a grab shot whilst I was waiting to get another picture of a little dog. And then I just turned it into this, and I must admit, it's actually it might be up there in my top 3 favorite photographs of the year so far. So you never know when that shot will happen, which is a good reason for, I mean, you know, let's accept the fact we're all sort of smartphone photography nerds. So it's a good reason for like having your camera there all the time ready, because the shots come to you. I find very rarely do I go to the shots. I go to places where shots may happen as often as I can, but the shot, I mean, I wasn't planning on, I didn't go to Paris saying, right, I'm really hoping to get a shot of two birds fuzzily flying off the bank of the Seine. Didn't happen. I was wandering around the streets, saw this woman with a dog collar, the dog, not the woman, looking like Elvis, because he also had these dark shades on, the dog. And I followed the dog because I wanted the shot, and they went down to walk along the river. So I was walking along the river, and I was pretending that I was just checking my phone, because I don't want people to know that I'm taking their photograph. And, you know, I was walking past a couple of birds. I disturbed a couple of seagulls. They flew off. I just grabbed the shot. I prefer it almost more than the dog shot. Yeah. Anyway, there we are. Jen says, lol, or is it? Yeah, lol. She's one of those people who says lol. But she's, you know, she's nice. She's really nice, despite that. Don't, you know, just shut up. Sab, shut up. That inspired a kind of poem as well. That was to inspire people, and it kind of did. Look at this. This is from the birthday girl. It's incredible. She says, "Nature, filth, my favorite." Jen. Oh, okay. Sorry, hang on. My favorite, clouds. All right. It's just an incredible thing, incredible photograph of an incredible thing. And I asked her about it, and apparently it's what was it? It was some sort of, I don't know, there was some sort of structure at some point which got destroyed, but they just left these kind of just absolutely incredible, weird looking things in the middle of the sea. And she's done some amazing color work on it. And the texture is just absolutely out of this world. It's just beautiful. And there's poo. There's a lot of poo dripping down there, which just adds to it, doesn't it? There's a bit of graffiti. And there's a couple of birds sitting on top. How perfect is that? The sky is amazing. The sea is amazing. She's put it right in the middle. But, you know, why not? That's the thing, you know, bam, in your face, incredible photograph. I've never seen anything like it. She says, you should have been there to smell the poo. I have lots of pics of the dome houses at different angles. If anyone else wants to play with them, just send me a message. Yeah, that's just never seen anything like it before. Amazing. This is just a guess. It may be that in real life it's actually kind of grey and boring. But so that's the time when you can play with it. You can play with colors, because I don't think it's actually this color. But you could leave it as grey, because the sea might have a nice color and the blue might go very nicely with the grey. But, or you can go crazy and you can do this. Maybe it's this color. I don't know. Is it? You are sassy today, actually laughing out loud. Who, me or you? I don't know what sassy means, so I'm just going to let that go. I'm from Britain. You know, we probably don't do sassy in Britain. This is great from Rob. This is, how did he do this? That's my question to you. Well, it's a panorama shot where you move the camera as you're taking the shot, because it's long, and also he's got this kind of ripped effects, because theoretically in a panorama you move it smoothly and you don't actually know it was a panorama, but sometimes you can decide, no, I'm going to move it. So probably, you know, I don't have my phone. So you can jiggle it like this, jig, 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 or you can just move it up and down as you move it across, you know, the panorama effect. And you get this weird effect. And he said, fretted guitar, now in Panavision. Life and objects when you scramble panorama, scramble. And I said, that looks almost like a visual representation of what you do to well-known songs we know and love when you attempt to play them on the very same guitar. But it was a joke, just a joke. So that's fantastic as well. Jen is here again. And what has she got here? Well, wow. Yeah, another great shot. She says, here's another of my favorites. No poop in this one. Oh, boo. Although, if you stayed there long enough, you might see a bit of poop coming onto your head, I was thinking. But more clouds and sky. Maybe that is why I never get anything accomplished. My head is always in the clouds. Gorgeous treatment of it. Beautiful. I don't know what you've been doing to it. You've been playing around in special photo processing things, and you've got some lovely contrasts. There's green, there's blue, and there's sort of orangey, and those three colors go really beautifully together. And of course you're looking up, which is a great idea. Funnily enough, I mean, how do you take a photograph that isn't the same as every other boring tourist photograph? Well, you take it in any way except how a tourist takes a photograph. I was going to say how a boring tourist takes a photograph, but I'll put boring adjective onto the photograph. They see something interesting. Oh, look at that. They lift the camera to sort of, chest height or throat height or even eye height, maybe. They take the shot and it's boring. So, but here, whoa, you look up in the sky and you've got a completely different point of view, because normally you expect to be looking at something which is the sort of thing you would see in front of you if you looked ahead. But we're looking at something with our heads in the normal position, but in fact, we're looking, the photographer was looking up into the sky, which is odd. It makes the photograph odd, and odd, different is good as far as we're concerned. Because we don't want to look at pictures that don't interest us. We want to look at pictures or offer pictures to people which make them think, oh, look at that. How did you do that? Or, oh my God, you're looking up into the sky. That's what we want. And Dorothy says, I love this picture. This is really interesting, people. Check this out. What are we looking at here? Well, she says, I love this picture. You got any theories? What's going on here? We had a ceremony yesterday for Mother Earth. People all over the world lit candles and fires. I was walking around talking to the trees and stones, what you do. I realized a little while ago that I have become my grandmother. When I was a little boy, it always intrigued me that she would talk to herself when no one else was there. It seemed a bit strange to me. And I realized that actually I spend entire mornings planning out, I don't know, conquering of the world or something photographically in my kitchen on my own. And sometimes I think, oh my God, I am become grandma. That's really kind of weird. Anyway, so I was walking around talking to the trees and stones, preparing the area, probably psycho-spiritually, before the ceremony. An impulse and a decision to take 2 photographs. They then were put together with tools, okay, from the masterclass. Dorothy is a marvelous masterclass person. You see the quality that is coming out here, the amazing ideas, the great photographs, the unusual, everything, just great, fantastic. Everyone, by the way, on the masterclass is doing amazing stuff. What do you see, sense, feel, or know? And she asks a question. This is great, It's all very well to post a photograph, but that's why I insist on people asking a question or making a comment when they post a photograph in our group, because otherwise it's like Flickr, it's a dumping ground. Here's a photograph, here's a photograph. I'm not interested in that in the slightest. If you want to go and look at lots and lots and lots of photographs, there's lots of places you can do it, but I want interaction. So she asks, what do you see, sense, feel, or know? And at first I would say it's a really, really strange sky. Are the branches double exposed? Is it the same branch put in twice? It's not the sky, is it? It doesn't seem to be. And you can see some sort of lines. So I'm guessing it's a rock and a tree silhouetted, put one on top of the other. Jen says the light growing up and pushing out dark. The dark cowering back as the light grows bigger and stronger into the blank space. Or a beautiful picture I have had in my mind since I saw it. Yaruska says, It is a photo that transmits peace. The earth breathes and begins to heal. Yeah, I mean, go for nature shots and find deep meaning in them. I think it's the ideal time to do that. Feel free to comment. Sometimes comments don't come through, but we seem to have been stuck on Jen's last comment. Feel free to comment, tell me what you're commenting on, because it might not be completely obvious for me. Here's another one of those dome houses. All right, now we see the color. Yeah, so they weren't actually that rich bluey green color, but that was a lovely treatment there. That's just fantastic. Just fantastic. I just love oddities. I'm one of the reasons I'm in Paris is because of the curiosities. Obviously, you don't have something like this in Paris, but you have an awful lot of weird, wonderful, crazy, curious stuff from history, strange passages, strange objects, old graffiti, weird statues, obscure buildings which are actually ways down into to allow you to check the water coming in underground from outside of Paris. It's just full of curiosities, and that's one of the reasons I love Paris. And this is a great example of a curiosity near you. So that was great. That was our Sunday showcase, and now let's move on to the Mystery Monday. I do have a theme in my mind, so you don't have to think too hard about that. But the theme for last time was connection. And this wasn't so easy. I thought it would be, but it's not. I mean, this was my joke photograph, just to kind of get things going. Me connecting myself to myself, and yeah. It's quite fun, isn't it? And getting quite red in the process. And but connection is a conceptual theme. It could literally be something connected to something else, like, I don't know, the plug going into the kettle, or it could be people connecting, or it could be something that gives you the idea of connection in a less obvious way. And I'm getting really into connection at the moment. For example, my kind of project before the last one, or maybe the one before the last, is Infinity Squared Connective, and it's about connecting my puzzle pieces with people. I won't tell you about that again because I already have, but that's a biggie. I will tell you one thing. Next week, I'm hoping on starting a project where I paint pictures like this, and I'm planning on painting 9 of them. So 9 times 9. Come on, 9 times 9. I'm doing maths with my son by internet this week because he's not at school, and 9 times 9. Come on, folks. So a lot, almost 100 of these under the theme. I invented this theme called burnt paw, because it's for Australia. I'm going to have a kind of Australia theme, and I'll put them up for adoption, and people will adopt single squares. They'll be connected to other people and other squares, and any proceeds that do come in, it's not a make profit project, even when it's just for me, but any few euros that we get will go to plant trees in Australia. And one of the big problems they have there is that the animals that survived don't have anything to eat because the trees and the plants were burnt. So my internet friend, who is appealing for awareness of this, said that they would plant trees which are the type of trees that koalas, the kangaroos, it's the obvious ones, but all the rest would also be able to eat eventually, and just have more trees as well. So that's my idea. Burnt paw, it's going to be called, because I lived in Australia for a year when I was a kid, and I lived in WA, Western Australia, and the kangaroo paw is the emblem of the state. When I say kangaroo paw, I'm not talking about a real kangaroo. I'm talking about a plant that is called kangaroo paw, and it looks like a kangaroo paw. I don't know if you can imagine. It's kind of like this, but this is kind of reddish, So it's like a plant that kind of, the flower goes over, and it's got these things here which are kind of furry and reddish, I think, reddish green. Beautiful little plant. And it's the symbol, it's the floral symbol of Western Australia. So I thought burnt paw would be quite a good name for this project. And if anyone else has an idea for future projects, you know, linked to good causes, then let's hear it. But this is a big one. This is going to be really big. I'm planning on doing a series of 9 videos over 9 days of me taking it from the raw materials. This is a raw material, to, you know, to a finished item, finished paintings. I don't know what they're going to look like yet, but which are more like that than that, you see. The other one that I've still got hanging around is this one here, you see. Jigsaw pieces in, texture, colors, bits of nature. This is a bit of nature that what way does it go? That way. That's a bit of nature found outside. There might be coins, there might be a centime in there, there might be a penny, from Britain. Jigsaw pieces or parts of jigsaw pieces that have been already used in the jigsaw, maybe by me, maybe by my son, maybe by strangers who put them into a car boot sale. So there's a lot of symbolism in there as well. Anyway, so let's have a look at the Mystery Monday. I've got Nazanin saying you've got horns. Yeah, that's right. I am looking rather devilish there, aren't I? And Dorothy says 81. Oh my goodness. Can you help my son with his homework, please? He's a really nice boy. You will love talking to him for hours and hours and hours and hours. So this is Nazanin, connecting through knowledge. I don't think you took this in your backyard somehow. I asked where it is, but you didn't. I don't think you saw my message. It's just an amazing sculpture. A pile of books with a book on top with a face and arms reaching up. Fantastic. Maybe it's in your neck of the woods near the Marne, which is a river that flows into the Seine, I think, which then flows through Paris. Nazanin lives in a lovely part of the suburbs of Paris. And here's Nazanin again. Oh, hang on a second. Oh. So this is family reunion. Steve is pensive. Yeah. So let's assume they're not actually texting each other, shall we? Give them the benefit of the doubt. But yeah, you get some funny photos these days, don't you? Sometimes I'm in the train in Paris, metro or the train, and I just look around and I see everybody like this. Zombie, zombie, zombie. And sometimes I take a photograph of it. It's quite funny. Obviously, you know, it doesn't escape me that I am also looking into my phone. You know, I'm not putting myself above anyone. What does that say there on that book? Petit Nicolas. It's a classic French cartoon thing, I think. And there was a comment actually here from Rob on this. Oh, actually, he just says that's brilliant. Somewhere in London. It's not the British Library or something like that. Okay, here's one from Uriska. Connection. My nephew plays, makes his racetrack, take advantage of my mother's plaster leg. Oh, wow, look at that. That's so funny. It's become a bridge. Her plastered leg has become a bridge, connecting trains, connecting things. That's pretty cool. Dorothy. Oh, hang on. So Nazanin is saying it's in London, that amazing sculpture. And she's saying it's my mother, brother and husband, and Steve Jobs and Dean Martin and Romain Gary. Okay. All right. Connection from Dorothy. By all being carved from wood. Connection by their feet. Yeah, they've all got big feet. Okay. And they're connected on the thing they're sitting on. And the horse and the old lady are connected by their eyes. They're looking at each other. Yeah, this is a sort. Look at the face on him there. And that's a real sort of monster troll or something, isn't it? I wonder where these came from. Maybe Dorothy made them. I don't know. Yeah, I mean, connection by eyes. Two people looking at each other. There's a connection. And Jen says, finally got a connection pic. My daughter trying her best to connect the pieces of her trampoline. This is good. This is really good. Her daughter's quite amazing. I mean, mother and daughter team, I guess. I don't know how much her mother encourages her, but she did this amazing driveway. They colored in their driveway, which was just fantastic. That's funny. That could actually be very fun, couldn't it? Someone on the other end, and they're trying to, two people on the end of long poles trying to get the two little bits to go into each other. That could be very funny. And she says, and the connection of the springs. I think they're making a trampoline in the garden. Springs is no easier, apparently. And what does a good mother do? Photograph it all. Yeah, I mean, don't help. Where's the fun in that? I could have helped, but she is stronger than me. C'est ça, c'est ça. And here's a tree. Where? Okay, let me just get rid of this. Dorothy saying, yes. Yes, what? Yes, you made them? Tell me if you made them, Dorothy. That's an amazing tree where all of the roots twist and connect and intertwine to make a trunk. And what connection could be any greater of a tree to Mother Earth? Yeah. Oh my God, is that a real tree? It's incredible. It looks like it can't be roots going up the tree. Did the roots come from higher up on the tree and go down? They have these trees everywhere in Florida where I vacationed, not where I live. They always make me want to climb up and read an exciting fantasy book. Oh my God. Is there another book, The Faraway Tree? Something like that? Enid Blyton? And there's another wonderful book about a tree, isn't there? The Giving Tree. The Giving Tree. It gives everything. Something like that. Ah, that is a gorgeous picture. And I think you've played with it as well to make it even punchier. I've rarely seen a tree that impressive. I did this thing once. I was away for this. It was a 3 or 4 day retreat. Spiritual, not really spiritual, but it was like seeing where you are in life and where you want to go. And one of the things they did was ask us to draw something that represented, I don't know. We did some visualization, and they asked us to draw something at the beginning of the sessions, and then at the end we had to complete it based on what we'd gone through. And I did this tree thing, and I did the tree with lots of branches and lots of roots. The roots were almost as important as I've got it somewhere, but I won't. Yeah. And the tree, it was so symbolic because the roots went down into Mother Earth, obviously. I mean, I'm not the first person who has seen symbolism in a tree, but it was the first time I did it. So the roots went deep, deep down into the earth. And the branches went high up into the air towards, the sky, towards heaven, towards bigger things than us, whatever you want to think. And then I thought, that's all very well, but wouldn't it? It's kind of solitary. So then I did some branches going well out to the side and off the side of the picture that way. And that was the connection with other people on the same level as me, my fellow man and woman. So yeah, trees. Let's hug some trees today. And Jen is saying, it is a real tree right outside. It is a real tree right outside my family's condo. Let me see what they are called. I have to ask my mum. Did you notice I didn't say anything funny about that at all? Many ways to connect. This is from Rob. Implements of connection. I wish there was a way to photograph this iPhone. I'm not quite sure what he means. I mean, photograph the iPhone that he's using to take the photograph with, or you could take a photo in the mirror, I suppose. Yeah, they are, aren't they? They're all bits of connections. The ear thing, the mouse, probably that pen is a fancy pen for writing, and the actual connector thing there. Great. And they're all connected together. And this is from Dorothy. Connection in a bath. Do you make these figures, Dorothy? They're really great. Absolutely love them. And lots of lovely stones and stuff. Oh, yes. Beautiful. In a bath. Yeah, they're having a bath. Yeah, that's great. I've got a little collection of beautiful stones, you know, lovely coloured stones. My favourite stone of all was one, actually, going back to me talking about Australia, was one that I discovered in Australia. And you look at it and it's kind of an amber orangey colour, but it's got streaks, and you move it like this and it actually changes in the light. You know what it's called? This I will get. Hang on. So here's hello. So here's, you still there? Very polite of you. This is part of my little collection of natural and strange things. And you know what the one I was talking about was? Anyone know? This one. This isn't the one that I got in Australia, but it's another one like that. You can't see probably. It's called tiger's eye, and it actually shimmers and changes in the light. Ah, there you can see. You see? Oh my God, it's so beautiful. I've got this one as well, which is pretty. Is this the same as the one that is down there? It could be, couldn't it? I don't know any of the names of these. I know we have some specialists probably. That could be the same as that blue one there. Fossils as well are cool, aren't they? There we are. That's a prehistoric dinosaur turd. This is this is one of those things. There you are. You see, that's its best side. That's a little less interesting. This is weird. You won't know what this is. Check this out. Hang on. Jen is talking to me. This is okay. What do you think this is? So apart from completely weird, it's I don't know what it is, but I've got a feeling it might not be natural. I think it might be some sort of it's got these kind of rainbow colors. It might be some sort of industrial waste, which is from some process which is hardened and actually turns out looking rather beautiful, which is kind of ironic. And well, I've got shells. I mean, I've got a lot of things I could show you which don't have anything to do with photographs. But, you know, that's what I do. I just go off on tangents and sometimes I come back. This is, Jen says, I love that. I'd love to know how you made it, Dorothy. I need one for my healing room. That is so wonderful. This is absolutely beautiful, isn't it? So cute. And her mum says it's a cypress tree. Cypress tree, really? Okay. I have that stone as well. This one, tiger's eye. Yeah, this is probably my favorite for sort of nostalgic purposes. And this is really inspiring me to pull out my shells and stones. Get ready. Yeah. No, I did not make them. You asked something about my tree sculptures, and I said yes. I didn't do the bathtub either. Okay. All right. Well, they're cute anyway, aren't they? All right. So that's connection in a bath. Oh, it'd be nice to have someone to have a bath with, wouldn't it? Be nice to have a bath, actually. I mean, the thing called a bath. Now this is Jen's crazy daughter. So apparently what they do is, in these times of isolation, you're supposed to, correct me if I'm wrong, color your front driveway or something in front of your house to make it happier, more fun for people walking by in isolation to see. And I thought those lines were terribly well done, those lines in between the colors, and apparently it's masking tape. You put masking tape on, you color it in chalk, and then you take photographs because it rains at night and then it's gone. You sometimes see that in Paris as well. Oh, these people, they do these amazing things in these, you know, I don't know, in front of the Louvre, for example, big flat area, in front of the Palais Royal metro station. There's a kind of square there in between Palais Royal and the Louvre. And you've got some guy, he's doing a masterpiece. You know, either it's from his imagination or it's a cartoon character or it's a reproduction of an old master. And the next day it's gone because it rained. Oh my God. Ephemeral art. She thinks her daughter is a rock star. This is from Dorothy, a collection of globes. I think we're all, that's good, profound from it. I think we're all thinking more globally these days, aren't we? We're taking a big long look at who we are as a people, what connection means, how connected we are or aren't actually, and how more connected we should be. So that's one of the consequences of this virus, I think. This is from Jen. And it's she says, connecting with Sab, that's me, a mock version of his muse here in America. Yeah, I think this was Disneyland. I thought it was Las Vegas, but no, it was Disneyland, I think, or Disney World or something. And they have a kind of mini Eiffel Tower. So thanks for thinking of me. Thanks for thinking of me. And this is 𝗪𝗓𝗪 in Peru. And it's connections being made by families where and when they can. They're in their corridor and they're playing, and she's connecting bits of stuff together, making a track. My son would be happy to take part in that. He often converts the living room into an entire racetrack or train track or something like that. All right, I think we're moving towards the end. What a beautiful bunch of photographs. Thanks everybody for sending those in, for contributing those. And this is Jen again. Jen is so enthusiastic. Wow. She says she can't stop. She's got the bug. That's it. Funny pic I took yesterday. Golf carts in the neighborhood are keeping everyone connected, one house to another. Okay. Or at least they were before lockdown. I've never seen a sign like that before. I don't live in those sort of burbs. And the tree. No edit's pretty amazing. Okay, yeah, it is pretty amazing. And your edit was pretty amazing. And again, edits are edits. The original is the original. All other things being equal, you've got to try and take a great shot before you do anything. And even assuming that you won't change anything, that will be the shot. You want to make sure it's a shot that you're happy with. You take it and you show it and you're happy with it. That's what the principle you should be working on. Of course, we have edits, we have apps, we can crop, but that's what you should be thinking about, in my opinion, when you take a shot is, do I like this shot? And take a few different shots, because you never know which one is going to be the one. Remember the shot of the birds flying off the edge of the bank across the River Seine that I showed you earlier? That was one of three that I grabbed. And all three of them had merits. That's the one I chose. I had a choice. And so there it is. Right, so that is us at the end of all those photographs, and it's wonderful, absolutely wonderful. So happy that you're contributing and enjoying doing it, I think. Photography and writing, a couple of things which you can do. And especially you playing afterwards, playing with photographs afterwards is ideal if you can't get out. Why not go through a lot of your old photographs? Because we often take a lot of photographs and then forget them, don't do anything with them. And that's a shame, isn't it? So what about using this time when some of us are confined to go through a lot of our old photographs and pull out some of them that we've forgotten, and either contribute them to the group in one of the threads or play with them. See, crop them a bit, change the colors a bit and have fun. Could be the ideal time to do that. And it's not a pure coincidence that I mentioned writing, because I've just started a new group. It's actually a sister or brother group to this one. Do you like writing? Do you like creative writing? If you do, then join this group. You see, it's a sister group. Hang on, let me just go to the top of this group. There you are. This is the Creative Smartphone Photography group. And this is the Creative Blog and Article Writing group. And I see them very much as brother and sister groups. I don't know which is the boy and which is the girl, or sister groups or brother groups, or just similar groups. So the spirit of it will be very similar. That's it. Okay, so if you're interested in that, do it. I focus on blog and article writing as opposed to all writing, in a similar way to the group that our group, focusing on smartphone photography. It's not that you have to have a smartphone. You could take any photographs and contribute them if you want. The principles are bigger than the type of camera you have. A smartphone is just a camera. The principles of photography are much bigger than the type of camera you have. But the thing is, I wanted to focus on one thing. Otherwise, I'm trying to address everybody who ever took a photograph ever. And it just doesn't work, you know? So let's give it some sort of identity. We're people who we love photography. We don't want to carry a big, heavy camera around. We just want to take our smartphone out. But actually, it's an amazing camera. So let's try and use it to make some amazing photographs. And it's the same thing with this. I've decided to focus quite simply on what I do every day. There's no pretension there. I'm not saying what I do is great or not great. All I'm saying is I do it every day. I write every day. I write, you could call it a blog or a creative article every day. And I publish a smartphone photograph every day. So that's why I'm doing this group, you know, because I do it, because I love it, because I can't stop myself from doing it. I have to do it. In French, they have an expression, 𝗧𝗢𝗗𝗓𝗏. It's stronger than me. It's bigger than me. So, you know, I'm creating this group because it will be a big part of my life. So I would love to attract people who are also passionate about playing with words, creating articles. I've got an attention span of a thing with a very, very, very short attention span. I was going to say a flea, but I'm not sure. Anyway, if I haven't finished something in a day, I start to get, yeah, but I could be doing this. And so that's why I say article and blog post, because you can do it in a day. You can do it in an hour, but that doesn't mean it's good. And you shouldn't be doing crap stuff, you know, and a lot of stuff, it's not very good. So yes, you can do it in a really short space of time, but it should also be really, really good. You know, be proud. It's an art. It's an art. It's a craft. So every article that I publish with my photographs, I've worked on it. You know, I've spent time, I've played with the words, the structures, I've changed things. So that's what this is about. If you're interested in that, join it and let's get writing. Let's get producing some amazing stuff. There's two similarities photography and writing have. What do you think they are? Well, let's just finish with my comments here. Jen says, first for me on that type of sign too. It was a neighborhood. That was the golf cart I happened upon on the way home yesterday. I thought golf carts were for golf courses. Yeah. Well, maybe people who play golf, Alice can tell us, she plays golf, actually ride their golf carts to the golf course. I have no idea. There's something that photography and writing short pieces, like for blogs and stuff or articles, have. And that is, you can write about anything. So there's the craft, the joy, the beauty, the creativity of writing. But the subject can be anything in the world. It could be this mouse. It could be problems of famine in Africa. You know, it doesn't matter. So there's two parts to it, you see. The entire world is your inspiration, but your craft is stringing words together in a pleasing, powerful, impactful way. And it's the same with photography. Photography is a craft. There's things you need to know if you want to take great photographs. Having said that, can you see the parallel? You can point a camera at anything. So these are two wonderful activities. And I think that's why I haven't done anything more specific, more precise, like tennis. I feel sorry for Roger Federer because I always use him as my example of what I don't want to do. I love the guy, you know, he's a wonderful guy, plays wonderful tennis, and I'm sure he has a wonderful family. He does wonderful things for charity, etc. Having said that, I mean, how many things can you hit a tennis ball at? Anyway, so there you go. So join if you're interested in writing it'll be in a very, very similar spirit to this photography group. So obviously there's an obligation. Writing might not be your thing, and that's fine. Just, there it is. Right, so we are now at the end, and I'm going to give you the theme. I'm going to choose a couple of winners. Oh, that is going to be difficult, isn't it? Do any of you guys have favorites that you've seen from the connection theme? Please write a message if you have. I'll just go through them again. What are your favorites from the connection theme? Okay, there was Nazanin's parents, is it? Parents, and that amazing statue. 𝗧𝗢𝗓𝗗𝗕𝗓𝗢, the bridge, the connection of the plastered leg being a bridge in a game. Lovely connection of figures. Attempts at connection from Jen's family. Nature's connecting to itself. High-tech connection from Rob. Connection, global connection here, the theme from Dorothy. Connecting across oceans, Jen and me, through Lady Eiffel. Connections in passageways, in games. And there you go. So let me know which photograph you really, really like in the chat now, if you are still there. And I will tell you, if I have to choose 3, that's going to be tough. I like this one. I'm going to go for this because it's funny. Because I can just imagine if I was doing this with my son, I know we would be just cracking up because one or the other of us we'd just get it and then we'd move it. So one would go like that and the other one would move it. I can just imagine it. So look at her face. So that's definitely a favorite. And what else? I like, that's funny, that one where the leg's being used. Okay, right, so I'll go for that one. I'll go for the leg being used as a part of a bridge, or as a bridge. There's a connection between generations there as well, isn't there? I imagine, so my nephew and her mother. So I'm not sure what that, I think that means there's 3 generations there. So it's the equivalent of grandmother and grandson. Yeah. So that's beautiful, isn't it? Connecting the generations. So it's symbolic as well as a nice photograph. And my third one, we've had Jen, we've had, Nazanin has been doing some amazing ones. Dorothy says she likes the books. Yeah, beautiful statue, isn't it? Having said that, it is just a picture of a statue. So what I am looking for is something, a connection that you have imagined. This is nice as well, isn't it? The Eiffel Tower that made Jen think of her friend on the other side of the Atlantic. And so I think I'm going to go for this one. It's there's Steve Jobs, yeah, and there's some other people up there. There's something about this. 2 folks, and there's someone else in the other room as well. 2 folks sitting there, and I think the person through the way there, or is also on a device. So they're all together. They're connected on the sofa, but they're also connected to something else as well. Maybe they're looking at the same thing. I don't know. So there you go. Nazanin, Jen, and 𝗧𝗢𝗓𝗗𝗓 will be my 3 favorites from this week. Nazanin says she liked poor connection with live. Oh, sorry about that. Right, so that's it. And the theme for this coming week, I have decided, will be close-ups. Close-ups. So what I want you to do is take photographs of bits of things, not the whole thing. Bits of things where you can see what the whole thing is, but you've got an interesting, it could be like the corner of a book. Let me see if I can illustrate. That doesn't sound very exciting, does it? But, imagine if the photograph was something like this. you see what I mean? Like that close. Or maybe you've got my head behind it, you see? My head goes out of focus. Really impressive angle. You can see what I'm reading. It's about Paris. And then maybe I've got an interesting look on my face, or I'm just reading the book, you see? What about this? Hang on. Is that a photograph? Okay, so a close-up. Things are collapsing behind me. The world, probably, that's all. So a close-up, either you can see what it is. It's obviously part of a thing, but you never normally take a photograph that close. So you're looking at detail, you're looking at texture, the binding of the book, the smooth bit, and then the ribbed pages. You're looking for detail and texture, which you never normally look at. And maybe a bit of human interest, a human interaction as well. It could be an eye looking down at the book. It doesn't have to be a book, it can be anything. Someone brushing their teeth, close up on the toothbrush, or someone in the kitchen, you've got a close up of a fork or something. Or you don't know what it is. Like, because I said a fork, I'm imagining you take a shot of a fork, but you go so close, all you can see is like 4 metal bars, because you can't even see the edges, or maybe you can just see the edges as well. So the other option is you don't even know what it is, and we have to guess. That's it. I hope you enjoyed that. I really enjoyed today's show. I don't know why. It just seemed incredibly rich, really fun. And Jen says, OMG, I was taking a close-up that turned out amazing while I was watching your video. How ironic, coincidences. They're everywhere if you want them to be. And you're going to give us some stone photos soon. Now the thing is, it's a bit like taking a photograph of a statue. Don't forget, you as a photographer are supposed to be adding something. So even if you're adding superb technique, that just about works, But try to add something. For example, you've got a stone. If you took a photograph of this stone, you'd have a photograph of a stone. But okay, so that's what it looks like. But you haven't really added something. So do something that adds something. Otherwise, it's a museum shot. It's a sort of. My dad spent many years on computer systems for cataloging museum objects. It was one of his specialities. And those shots, they were supposed to be as perfectly lifelike as possible. You looked at the stone and you knew exactly what it looked like. I don't want that. I want you to change it. I want you to do something artistic with it. Otherwise, you can just look up tiger's eye stone on Wikipedia and you'll get a picture of a stone like that. That's not what creative photography is about. Creative photography is about adding your own personality to the shot. Just saying. So that's it. And thank you for watching. And so it's close-ups where it's either a really strange angle of something, but you know what it is, or you don't even know what it is, and we have to guess. I have lots of ideas. I basically prepared with 2,000 shots of everything from one side of my country to the other. 2,000. Lots to play with. Now I'm even more grateful because of the lockdown. Yeah, okay. All right. If you're watching on replay, thanks. I'm really excited to hear what you think. Feel free to add comments at the relevant times. But the thing is, if you don't say what you're commenting on as you watch the replay, it will be very difficult for me to know what you're commenting on. So try to say what you're commenting on in your comment. Like, I love the picture of Jen's tree, or, something like that. That's an hour. We've been going for an hour. And I will see you again next Monday, if all goes according to plan. And happy snapping, everyone. Bye-bye for now. From Seb in Paris, on good old